A scientist placed 5 monkeys inside of a cage. Inside their cage just stood a ladder, and on top of that ladder, a big bunch of bananas at the top. One monkey was curious. He decided, what happens when I climb up this ladder and get those bananas? So he did it. He climbed up the top, and he got those bananas. The scientist then sprayed the rest of the monkeys down below with icy cold water. This frustrated those monkeys, and as soon as that monkey came back down from the ladder, they all continued to beat him up. It didn't take long before that monkey knew, and he learned to never ever climb up the top of that ladder. The scientist then decided to mix things up. He placed one monkey that has never been inside the cage and swapped that for one monkey that was in the cage already. Instinctively, just like that first monkey, the first thing that monkey did was climb up the top of this ladder. But before he reached the top, the other monkeys around him dragged him down and continued to beat him up. Just like the first monkey, that monkey learned and he knew to never ever climb up that ladder. The same substitution process occurred, and what was left was 5 monkeys who never actually climbed up the top of that ladder to get those bananas and receive an icy cold shower, but proceeded to beat up any monkey that attempted to do so. If you were to ask those monkeys, why were you doing this? They probably would have shrugged their heads and just said, I don't know. I guess that's just how things have always been done around here. I believe this is the way most of us in society are influenced to think and believe about certain people, races, cultures, and life outcomes. Why should we be influenced to fit inside this tiny little box the rest of our lives that society has created for us? It doesn't make sense. I believe in breaking the mold that society has created, seeing eye to eye and working together. Because we all don't live the same way. We all don't learn the same way. And we all don't lead the same way. It's okay to be different. So it shouldn't matter your age, sex, race, weight, or social standing to give somebody a fair and an equal chance. Through doing this, we can create a bigger sense of community within schools, businesses, and the wider world. I was taught this by my mum and my dad, as ever since I can remember, I can hear their words echoing inside of my head. The world doesn't revolve around you, Noah. They taught me to be caring towards others, as 3 to 4 times a year we would gather up the toys that I would not need and give them to kids less fortunate than myself. This taught me to think outside my own little bubble of 5-year-old consciousness, to appreciate the smaller things in life, and to make sure that everybody has a fair and an equal chance. I guess the sad thing about stereotypes is they paint a vivid picture about someone that can seem so real and so realistic to them. Sometimes it can seem easier to fall into that stereotype and fit into that box instead of standing up and confronting against it. A few years ago, I came across a boy in my school, a couple years younger than myself. Let's call him Sam. Sam was quite overweight for his age, and I believe this changed other students' perspective of him. Sam was constantly sitting alone on his phone at lunchtimes and intervals. I believe that no child should be sitting by themselves when there are hundreds of kids playing around them. So myself and a couple of my friends, we noticed this. We decided to get to know this Sam. So for about 10 to 15 minutes, most lunchtimes and most intervals, we'd go up to him, chat to him, simply see how his day was going. Through doing this, we learned that Sam wanted to become an engineer after his schooling days had ended. He also had a kind humor and a great personality to match it. What we learned was it seemed that we broke some untold social stigma, and other students saw us interacting with him, and they also thought that it was okay to now speak to Sam. Because with a personality like his, it didn't take long before he clicked with a couple more individuals, and he had adopted his very own friend group. Now to this day, when I walk past Sam, we give each other a kind head nod and go on with our days. I guess my journey into fatherhood was quite different to the standard and the traditional way in society nowadays. I got told I was going to become a father at the tender age of 16. And when I got told this, I had many thoughts running through my head. What will my friends think? What may my family think? What will my school think? And what will society think as a whole? All of these negative thoughts made me bottle up this whole situation internally, as instead of telling my friends and my family for additional love and support, I kept this all bottled up inside internally. So I was off on a Friday night, going to visit my baby brother at Wellington Hospital, who was born 2 days before my very own daughter, and then on a Sunday night after work, getting sneakily driven into Wellington Hospital for a group of my very close friends to visit my baby girl's first moment on earth. Seems ridiculous, doesn't it? It's crazy, but once I finally gained the courage to tell my friends and my family, they taught me one thing. That's that life's a blessing, and nobody should ever be able to take that away from you. And if you stand up with your head high, nobody can judge you either. I learned that the main reason I was scared to tell anybody was because I was influenced to believe that from society, being a teen parent nowadays, you can't account to much. I wasn't going to be able to chase my dreams. I wasn't going to be able to have a well-paying job. And I wasn't going to be able to provide for my family efficiently. I thought about this. I thought about this a lot. And I realized that I wasn't ticking these boxes. I'm head boy at my college. I'm running my own social enterprise. I've got my goals set, and with a clear mindset, I know where I can end up in 5 to 10 years. Who is somebody to tell me that I can't do that? A stereotype is a judgment, a projection of someone else's idea. It's not me and it's not you. It's up to us to carve the lives that we want to live in, and it's up to us for how we're going to get there. Because I believe in my heart that age doesn't determine if you're going to be a good parent, but being a good parent determines if you're going to be a good parent. It really seems to me that we're putting too much emphasis on the teen, where it should really be putting on the parenting. So my insight I'd like to leave you guys all is this. Don't be a monkey afraid of something that doesn't exist. Be a monkey ready and free to climb any opportunity, any adventure, and climb over any obstacle. And most of all, if you stand up with your head high, nobody can judge you. We're all individuals. Let's all treat each other equally, and let's all break the mold together. Thank you.